I now want to always say, my name is Edwige Dantika, and I know Marlon James. um, what a wonderful intro to Marlon James. Mr. Black, thank you for the beautiful music. Another round of applause. So on to the incomparable Marlon James. You know you're a boss, a total literary rock star, when the very feared and now retired New York Times literary critic, Michiko Kakutani, comes out of retirement to write a rave review of your epic novel. This just happened to Marlon James, and you can find this review, and I think the cover of the New York Times Book Review this weekend. I have introduced Marlon here at Books and Books before, and every thing I said the last time is still true. I hope he doesn't remember them all because there'll be some repetition. But a whole lot more people know this truth now. Marlon has been making waves since the publication of his astonishing first novel, John Crow's Devil, which was a finalist for the Los Angeles Times Book Prize and the Commonwealth Writers Prize. It's hard to believe that this was a debut novel, except it was a Marlon James debut novel, which is totally other level. When that novel was first published in 2010, Marlon was compared to everyone from Toni Morrison to William Faulkner to Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and that continues on steroids for this new book. Marlon's sophomore novel, The Book of Night Women, showed no sign of the famous sophomore slump. Set in a Jamaica sugar plantation at the turn of the 19th century, it digs painfully deep into the gruesome realities of slavery in our hemisphere. The Book of Night Women won the 2010 Dayton Literary Peace Prize, was a finalist for the NAACP Image Award, as well as a National Books Critics Circle Award winner in fiction. Then, there was the Man Booker winning A Brief History of Seven Killings, which was named a Best Book of the Year by every single newspaper and magazine in this country that still writes about books. This brilliant and ambitious novel took us on a charged, tumultuous, and absorbing ride through Jamaica over 3 decades. And the last time Marlon was here at Books and Books, he read a couple of the dozens of characters in the chorus of that book. And if you have sterile ears, prepare yourself. Tonight, Marlon will read from and discuss his most recent novel, Black Leopard, Red Wolf, the first in a trilogy which, as Michiko describes in her review, is a fantasy set in Africa by way of Hieronymus Bosch, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and Marvel Comics. For those of you not up to date to your art history, Bosch is a Dutch painter known for his fantasy-based illustrations of religious narratives. Even with those phenomenal descriptors, there's so much more to say about this book, given the scope and breadth of it. It has layers of African and other mythology, world history, suspense, layers of queer and trans history we might have never heard about, and so many echoes for our present time, and a fully realized and ever so vivid quest, which makes us hunger for more, and which we will only fully understand when Marlon has written the other 2 books. I just asked him if he started writing, he said no. So this past couple of days, we heard also that the book was optioned by Michael B. Jordan of Black Panther, Creed, and Creed 2 fame, and by Warner Brothers. The last time I saw you, Marlon, we were all out to dinner with a bunch of friends, and then we're trying to decide who pays for dinner, and they're like, oh, you pay for dinner if you won the prize. I wanted you to know in front of everybody, movie deal trumps prize. You owe dinner. Please give Marlon James a wonderful Books and Books reaction.
Fantastic introduction, and thanks to Belmont for that wonderful concert. I was tempted to just have you go on, and I'll just give people the cliff notes for the book. The funny thing about this book is that it started out of a fight. with a friend he's a friend of mine, and it was 2010, I think, and they just announced the cast for The Hobbit. And I saw the cast, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, here we go. And I already knew, I said, this is how this is going to play out. I'm going to talk about diversity and inclusion. You're going to push back. We're going to have a very bad fight over a not good movie. And that's exactly what happened. I was like, why isn't this cast more diverse? Why is it such an all-white cast? And my friend was like, well, you know, Lord of the Rings is based on British folk.
Go to the autographing part now. The autographing is going to be on the other side of the store, but if you can all sit while Marlon gets over there and gets situated, that would be great. I also want to thank Bellman for raising. I want to echo what Christina says, and that is that we here at Books and Books are so thankful that with each book, Marlon makes the effort to come to Miami, so we thank you so much. And also, what Marlon didn't say, and I hope it'll make you buy 10 more copies each, is that, I don't know if you saw the New York Times piece, but it really, not the review, but when they were trying to determine what the most significant cultural events of 2019 would be, one of them, one of the top 10 was the publication of this book. So, you know, Christmas is only 11 months away. So if you want to get the most important book of the year, you can get a signed copy tonight. Anyway, thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. And if you can help us, the line will form that way with the book signing. And also, we did make a drink specially for Marlon tonight as well at the bar. It's called Which Man's Brew. So you can get it's champagne and watermelon right out there. Thank you all for coming.